Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic Guy on Board Game Geek, Doug Herring on YouTube, also Doug Mystic Guy on YouTube, and DougMysticGuy.com, etc. Just welcoming you to another little playthrough. As you can see, we're going to do some Masmorra Dungeons of Arcadia, but this time, unlike my last playthrough, we're going to do it in a cooperative fashion using the Allaince game, which means our characters are playing together to try and defeat an evil boss. They have 21 turns to do that in, and they say have to move quickly. Now, I am using these miniatures do not come painted. I painted these. So here is Azure. He's going to be one of the characters we play. This is Quan, the human monk, and this is Micah, whichever, the human rogue. And I played her last time actually in the competitive version of this that I played for everyone a while back. But like I said, this time we're going to do the Allaince game. I think it'll be a little more entertaining. And the treasures, the thing I don't like about trying to demo the competitive game is that when you do that, you don't get to. The problem with it is when you do that, you don't. Almost the cards in there are like screw you cards. They mess with each other because you're competing against each other to win, and it just doesn't play that well as in demonstration. So we're not going to do that. We're going to play the Allaince game. And the Allaince rules are simple. If our winning condition is we have to defeat the boss Malefius. Our losing conditions is if one of the heroes die, or if the players cannot do it before turn 21, we lose the game. And then otherwise, it's very similar to the other part of the normal game, except that before every turn, we're going to draw one of these evil cards, and something bad is going to happen. And then we're going to go through our normal turn, then we're going to go through our Dungeon Master phase, where monsters move and then spawn, etc. And then we're going to keep going. Now, in this one, like I said, I'm going to be playing 3 characters. But before we get started, I want to mention a couple things. One is my buddy pal over in the UK who does a lot of playthroughs, Catweasel, has started his Eldritch horror game where he's playing with other people and he tells a great story. Go watch that, it's awesome. I can't tell you, it's going to be so much fun. It just started, just the first episode. The second one is Robert Orne, who you probably, if you watch these kind of channels, you probably already know him, and he's awesome. He plays games with his family, and it's just cool stuff. Did a live session, 2 live sessions of Gloomhaven. And I highly recommend that too. Go watch those. They're fantastic. And he and his family are so great. I just love watching them do their thing with their games and have fun. And, you know, his daughter's playing video games. She plays one of my favorites of all time, which is The Witcher 3. And she plays that live. Probably going to be playing Andromeda soon too. But they also do tons of board gaming. And like I said, they're doing Gloomhaven right now. So if you want to see more Gloomhaven, by all means, go check that out. And check his schedule for the next live event on that. I'm sure there's one coming. Anyway, so one of the other big differences in this is that we're going to be drawing from this special Allaince treasure deck. And again, these cards help each other more than hinder each other, as opposed to in the competitive version of the game. Otherwise, monsters and that are all pretty much the same. We're going to have the basic monsters and then the bigger badder monsters to contend with. And outside of that, the game is really straightforward. It's the same game. But let's talk about our characters real quick. Again, we have Azure here. He is a Dark Elf Ranger, and his special abilities, by the way, it says, don't look away, don't turn your head, don't even blink. That's his saying. Now, with his ability, his special abilities, we can dock any die to gain a movement and a gold coin. That's pretty good ability. So I like him. I'm not going to get into what Swift Blade and Roundhouse Kick might do. We'll see those when he levels up. Then we have Quan. He's the monk. His ability is he can dock any die there to get a sword and a coin. That's not bad. It's probably not one of the best abilities, but his alms and 100-legged abilities are pretty cool. So we'll see what happens when those come out. Now, all the characters have this base ability of docking a sword and a shield to turn it into a shield and 2 swords. It's pretty powerful. Okay, and we'll talk about docking dice and that later. Lastly, Micah, her starting ability. I didn't read Quan's quote. It says, have you seen my son? Obviously he's looking for a son. There's backstories on these. I'll let you read them. So, you know, there's some story behind there. It's pretty cool. Anyway, she's a human rogue, and her starting ability is she can use any symbol to help disarm a trap or open a chest. That is really powerful, by the way. And of course, she has the same basic ability. Her upcoming things are backstab and throwing knives, so you know those are going to be good. And that's her. And again, this is her mini right here. See, I got the skin a little too dark, but that's okay. It just darkened when it dried, and I can lighten it up. But the rest of it's kind of close. So I even got the colors, the the different colors in her bandana thing, or handkerchief, or whatever, scarf. And then Azure, you can see he was pretty close too. He got some good stuff there. But anyway, let's get rolling. We're going to get started. One more thing to show you. Here's the turn and experience track. Again, we have 21 turns to get to there. If we fail, we lose, and these are going to go up as we get experience. So that's the way that's going to go. And again, on the Allaince turn, these turns are really simple. We're going to do the same thing as always. But again, we only have 21 turns to do it, so we got to hustle and make sure we move through there fast. On a good note, the first tile that's coming up is a good one. So we'll place that in a nice strategic way so that other players can get to it if they fight monsters and need some additional healing. Outside of that, we can just get going. Okay, so our first player, the person who has the first player token, is going to be Azure, the Dark Elf Ranger. We're going to draw his first evil card, so I'm going to get those out. We'll give him a quick little shuffle, and we'll see what we get. So I think I'm going to pan out just a little bit so it's easier to see the cards. And we draw first is Bleed. Any player must pay 1 gold, or the active hero takes 1 wound for each room he moves into this turn. Well, we don't have any golds, that's a problem, but we can heal. So now we're going to roll our dice and see what Azure gets. Let's see. Roll the dice and see. I'll just put them all up here for you to look at. So he's got a whole bunch of potions and some movement. He's not going to have a monster this turn, so I think what he's going to do is he's going to use his move token to move to this room. So he does that. That's going to give him a wound immediately. So he's down to 5 wounds, and we're going to turn up the next tile. It's a treasure tile. That's the next tile that's going to come up. Okay, and then so he might continue to move. He wants to keep his shield because he's probably going to have to fight something, and he's going to want to keep both of these. He used his move token, so he can. So first off, he did move into here. He's not going to use that. He is going to continue to move, which is going to put him down to 4 hit points already. We're going to plop that right there. He's going to move into this room. The next tile is going to be that, so it's not a trap. That is good. And then we're going to roll for a monster. So he used this to move. Actually, he's going to use this to move. He's going to put it on his character card. Now, I could have used any symbol on there. It doesn't have to be a move symbol, but I might as well get the extra coin while he's at it. So he did that, and then I'm going to roll a monster, see what's in the room with him. A orc. Oh, they're bad. They do 3 damage. They do a lot of damage and 2 defense. So we can kill him with this alone, but I do think we're going to re-roll this 1 die. We're going to keep the 2 potions. We get to re-roll a die. 3 potions instead. So basically what we're going to do, he's going to do 3 damage. That's going to be rough. So we're going to dock this. That's going to give him a shield and 2 swords. Boom. It's going to be enough to kill the orc. But the orc does 3 damage minus 1 shield. So 2 damage. And then now he killed the orc. And here's the good news in that. He in killing the orc, he gains 2 experience points. That's what the little dots there mean. And then he's going to get 2, so he gets 2 experience points. He's the blue base. So he's going to get that. And then he doesn't have a shield to take this chest, so he cannot do that. But what he can do is, and we had to use the other shield to kill the orc. Otherwise we would have had to take the hits and not even killed it. And get the experience points. But he is going to use all 3 of these potions. That will put him back up to 5. I'm not going to show you that. These just get docked on his sheet. And that's the end of his turn. So it wasn't the most fantastic turn for him, but it wasn't a bad turn either. Okay, so basically this card now goes away. We are going to then do, now we do the Dungeon Master's phase, but there's no monsters on the board, so there's no monster movement. And we're down 1 turn out of 21. Yeah, it's going to go that fast. Boom. Now we're going to go to Quan. So of course first thing we have to do is draw Quan's evil card. We get Deadly Aura. If any hero ends this turn in the same room as another hero, each hero in that room takes 2 wounds. Well, that is bad. So he is going to next roll his dice. See what we get here. Dice went all over the table, but let's stack them up where I think you can see them. Okay, we're going to put them right, I guess we'll put them right here for now. He's got no movement, so he's going to use his movement token, and he is going to move 1 over into here. Now you can see that there is a skull there, and this is a spawning room. So what is next? Ooh, another treasure room. That's good. So we're getting pretty lucky with that part, but he is going to be facing another monster there. So it is going to be a cultist. The cultist, when he enters this room and he gets into the fight with the cultist, the first thing the cultist does, its special ability, is steal a potion. So this card is now gone. The cultist has stolen it. Now how do I know that? Well, under minor monsters, his special abilities, his start of combat, steals one potion if available. If not, steals one potion symbol. So we know that he stole a potion. It's not that big of a deal because we're going to kill him. We're going to do this. Actually, I think we're going to re-roll all three of these. We get one re-roll. I should have done that probably before the... it doesn't matter. Okay, we are going to then dock these two for the ability of getting 2 swords and a shield, which will kill the cultist. The cultist will deliver 1 damage back because we only have 1 shield, so Quan goes down to 5 hit points, but kills this guy. And he's got a second potion, so he can drink that. He will do that to drink that up and go back up to 6. And then he's going to get 2 experience points for killing the cultist as well. Okay, so Quan is going to get 2 experience points as well, and that's going to be it for him. But I'm going to collect a bounty on these 2 dice, which are going to give him 2 coins to take. Now, Azure didn't have any dice left over, so that he used up all his dice, I think. So that's going to be the end of his turn. He is going to stop in that room. Now, as you know, that means that this card, he did not, all the players are in separate rooms, so we do not suffer the effect of this. That gets discarded. No monsters to spawn. He is on the spawn point, so it will not spawn a new monster. And then we move the turn tracker up to turn 2. And then we're going to get to go with Micah. Do you call her Mika or Micah? I guess Micah. I'm going to call her Micah. Okay, next up we draw her evil card. It says, execute an extra Dungeon Master phase immediately. Okay, that's fine. We do. Now let me check. Is part of the Dungeon Master phase also in the Alliance game also taking the extra turn? It might be at the end of the Dungeon Master phase. Advance the turn token up to experience track. So we lost a turn from that, but we did not get any more monsters. So the turn token now goes up to turn 3. That is bad. It's going to go up to turn 4 at the end of this, but that's that. Now we know that we have a treasure thing coming up, so we're going to roll her dice. Let's see what she gets. Well, that's not great. For her, it's not as bad because she can use any symbols to unlock. I think we're going to roll all 3 of these immediately again, and we'll re-roll a potion too. Man, what is up with the potions? Well, at least we got 2 archery symbols. So she's going to have to use her token to move because we didn't get any movement symbols. She will move here. We're going to get a chest for that room because there's going to be a treasure chest in there as well as a monster. The next tile is, is a 4+1, so we got to get rid of this. And that means I probably should have, well, it's okay. It's a trap, bummer. So we're going to place the trap right here. That means unless she disarms it, she is going to take a damage. I'm sorry, not there. It's going to be in this room. So I think we'll place it up here, way up at the top. Okay, she's moved into there, and there's also a monster. 2. Okay. All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. We have to fight the monster first. It is another orc. It's 3 damage, so that is bad for us. It's only got 2 health though, and she can stop it from retaliating. Now orcs don't have any special abilities; they just do a lot of damage. So what she's going to do is kill it with 2 bow symbols. So I'm going to dock those. That will kill the orc, and now the orc does not get to retaliate because we use purely archery to do it. And if you watch my other videos or any other videos, if you just use archery symbols and don't mix them with sword symbols, then it's a ranged attack, and the monster can't retaliate. So that is going to give Micah 2 experience points. So everybody now is on 2. That's good. But she's going to do some other things. She's going to advance faster than anybody else. So she's going to then take this magic symbol, because if she moves out of there again, she's going to take damage from the trap. But she's not going to. So she's going to take this and dock it on the trap, which will disarm the trap. We'll just flip it over. And as you can see, it's got 2 dots on there too. So Micah is going to gain an experience point, or 2 more experience points. Now that's meaningful because now remember she can use any dice. That's why she used that one for these. So that's meaningful because she is now going to go up to 4, which means she's going to get the level. So we have a choice. We got her backstab ability, which is she can use an archery symbol to get 3 swords, or she can use throwing knives. She can use an archery symbol to get archery and 2 coins. I think at first we'll go with backstab. Okay, now she's got a couple of things she can do. She took no damage, which is good. And that means, okay, so she's going to take the sword. She'll just use the sword to collect the treasure. So she collects the treasure token next. That goes away, which means she gains a gold coin, and she gets to draw the first treasure. So what does she get? She gets Dazzle, give an active hero a magic token, or Sparkle, play during your turn to gain 2. So that's a good card for her. I'll put it right next to her characters thing there. And then she's got 2 healing dice, but she didn't take any damage. She's not with another player, so she can't use them on them. So she'll cash those in for 2 more gold. She's collecting some gold. It's pretty cool. Alright, and that is going to end her turn. That means this goes away. We perform a Dungeon Master phase. Once again, there are no monsters on the board and no spawn points that are without players in them right now. So all we do is plop that up to there. Turn 4. Yeah, that's not good. But anyway, what we're going to do is, I think we're going to break there. I have to do something with the deck because I accidentally have this tile in there, which means that I have to move one up because there's supposed to be 10 before the stairs. So I'll sort that out. That's not a big deal. There's supposed to be 10 tiles before you get to the stairs to the second level. So we've got quite a few of those out right now. So I got to fix that before the next turn. So we're going to stop right there. You've seen a good round of Masmorra. Not that complicated of a game, but you do have to pay attention to some things. I hope you'll like it, and I hope you enjoy me playing with my newly minted painted miniatures that I did last time or between there. And that's going to end that. So guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Don't forget to go watch those other channels. They're awesome. This will be a pretty quick one. It's probably just going to be a couple episodes long. But I wanted to get this one kicked off and get a good solid set of turns in before we stop and I get something posted. So guys, thanks again. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you next time.